How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and welcome back to another episode of our playthrough of the high fantasy mod for Civilization 4 called Fall from Heaven 2. This is the Wages of Sin scenario played from the perspective of Decius of the Calabim. We are of the evil alignment, and unfortunately I lost some of the progress that we made in the previous episode. So just a little bit of background on what happened. Apparently, I thought the game was going to autosave when it didn't, and in addition to this, I messed up by forgetting to save myself. So usually I try to do a manual save before I quit the game. Apparently I forgot last time. The hope, of course, is that if I forget, I'll have manual saves, or automatic saves done every turn that can sort of back me up on that. Unfortunately, the autosaves only take place every 4 turns. Now I've went back into the configuration files, and it should be good now. It should be saving once every turn, so that we shouldn't have that problem again. But there are a couple of changes that have been made. I couldn't quite replicate exactly what I did before without like watching the entire playthrough of the last 3 turns, which ended up being about 15 minutes, and copying every single activity that I did. So to the best of my knowledge, things have gone pretty much the same, but there might be a couple of slight deviations in here. Like I captured this city here 1 turn earlier. And then also I didn't get my hawk out. My hawk was in this city longer than it should have been the last time we stopped here. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's continue. Oh wow, she's actually offering us a technology. Stirrups for Way of the Forests. It's a hefty sum of gold that she wants. She also has mathematics, which I would actually find more useful. I think. Mathematics allows us to build wealth. I'll just ignore it for now. Invention of the tower shield has provided our foot soldiers with some protection against archers. Okay. Every one of our units that we don't use is going to get a promotion. Not our vampires, the units that we'll never use. Forces open border. Yeah, okay, so that resolution succeeded. It's another slight deviation. In the previous episode, you might have noticed that I voted for, or I chose the proposal to enlist the Night Watch. This time playing through it, I chose the proposal to sign open borders among all members, which I already think they had open borders already, so it was kind of a waste. I don't know. Yeah, it's regrettable. Always save twice, right? It's very important. Yeah, so I can't help her improve this land, because if I build any sort of improvement on these forests, it will actually cut them down. So good to know. I thought that's what would happen, but I wasn't sure, so I sent this worker up here. She has most of her resources improved, so really the only other thing that I could do is like just build on the tiles that don't have forests. But the strength of the elves, be it the dark elves or the good elves, is that they can grow forests on all these tiles, and working the forest is going to be vastly more productive because they can build mines on top of forests, and they can build cottages on top of forests. So there's really no point in me improving any of that land, because it will actually be to the detriment of my ally there. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to send the worker back home. They completed the trade route, which was important, is what I wanted them to get done, but their work is finished, and we need to head back home. So now that we have 2 cities here, we can start a bit of a network going back to my city as soon as this anarchy is over with. We're actually making quite a bit of gold per turn, 6 gold, because we aren't playing it on necessarily an easy difficulty. It's like 2 above Prince, I think. And Prince is like, it's the difficulty that puts you on normal footing with other AIs. Okay, so we want to go after the city here. I think all of our units are now healed. Let's see. I think there was a vampire that was damaged quite a bit. Yeah, they're all healed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull the ranger out of this city and have him run over here to Kahir Abbey. And he's going to defend the city while we move our fighting force over here to the final city of the Elohim. And then we'll have our first civilization wiped out, hopefully. So 1 turn to go here. We're going to use the vampire haste spell to move, oops, move another, hopefully. Wait, is that a worker? It's a slave, okay. Wait, let's split this up. This guy can go back home. The rest of them will follow the vampire. What do we have here? Oh, we actually have the hero. What's his name? Valen. Valen Fanuel. He is strength 11 when attacking. What do I want to do about that? Like, can I hit him with anything? Now he's pretty powerful, especially if he attacks me first. So we could be in a bit of a pickle there. Luckily, he can only attack once, which means he would probably take out my war elephant, which means my hero wouldn't die. But yeah, that could make things a little bit harder for us. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have bullets. Let me double check here just to make sure that he can't attack more than once. I forgot he still had this unit, but yes, indeed he did, or she did. In this case, I believe her name is Athene the White. So I thought, okay, here's a little bit of backstory for those who haven't seen the previous episodes. This character attacked my cities over here, and I beat him back. I would have killed him, but he kept running away due to being afraid of ghosts or something, and I couldn't catch him that turn. Like I ran out of units that were capable of actually attacking, because he kept chickening out, or he kept being able to retreat for some reason. It might not have been from fear. It might have been that he has an ability to retreat. And it was like a 30, yeah, right there it says a 35% withdrawal chance. And he kept rolling that every time I attacked him. So I ran out of units that I could attack him with. And then the next turn he escaped, even though I should have been able to kill him. So, okay. Apparently he didn't attack. So I imagine he's going to be in the city then. Which means we need to find a way to get over there. Now, we can get over there with this unit this turn, because we have the commando promotions for pretty much all of these units, which means we can use enemy roads. Yeah, so I think we're just going to try to move in closer to the city. Why do we only have 1 movement point here? Is there a giant holding us back? Because we can just remove him from the stack. Speed is going to be more important here, I think. Yeah, okay, so giants don't have the ability to move on enemy roads. Okay. So he's being bad. Hopefully, let's see here. Yeah, now we can move 2 tiles like that. And bridges have been built, so we're going to cast haste. And Valen is indeed inside this city. So what we would like to do is like to move at least one more tile. Okay, we got here. Let's start doing some damage with the ritualists. Some collateral damage to knock that longbowman all the way down to 3.6, and Valen is now 7.4 strength. And there's also, okay, no, that's Valen. Yeah, so that's going to be the strongest unit we have to try to attack. The city also has walls around it, so it would be very helpful to be able to get this hill giant into the stack, but I'm just worried he's not fast enough, so. Okay, by the way, we don't want to build a settler in here. There's still 2 turns of resistance, and after that we probably should build something like a walls there. I mean, I know this ranger's on his way over to defend it, but it will help if we have walls, and then we'll use that slave the rush to the wall building a little bit. So, out of curiosity, what are the odds? So with the war elephant, the odds against this longbowman are currently 94.5. We're not going to attack, obviously, yet, because we want to bombard the defenses down a bit. We only have 1 elephant to do the bombarding, so it will take a little bit longer than usual. But I really don't want to start risking units, especially with that hero in the city. I don't want them to take unnecessary damage that rushing in there would probably cause. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of workers here, and I'm going to have them sent over to the Kathir Abbey, I think the name of it is, the recently captured city, so that way I can go ahead and start improving the land around it. I think that'll be pretty important. In addition to that, I just realized we only have one archer in this city, and there is a capital over here for the Mercuryans. They are, I think, what? It says destroy 3 more enemy players. We only have to destroy a total of 3 enemy teammates, and there are a total of 4, I think. Who am I at war with? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm at war with 4. Only have to destroy 3 of them. So we could take out Athene the White. That's the hope. She will hopefully be gone by the end of this episode, and then we can focus on the Mercuryans over here, and then probably switch our attention over here to the Malachim, or potentially up here to the good elves. Now, the thing about going up here is that it will take us a while to get up there. They're farther away and less of a threat to us personally compared to some of these other civilizations. Ooh, he tried to cast some spells on me. I wonder if any of them actually went through. Let's check the log. Yes, 2 units were held, but the rest of the spells are resisted. Now, I'm pretty sure held means that I can't move for that turn, so that could be a bit of a problem. Let's double check here. You can see the units that have been held. Of course, our giant, the giant that we actually needed to go ahead and bombard, was one of the units that got held. So that sucks. You'll notice I can't do anything with him this turn. The danger is that's going to be a trend, and he will be able to hold more and more units. So let's just try bombarding with flame again here. They're still taking damage, so that's an indicator that's working. But I mean, what am I going to do if my giant gets held every single time? I'm just going to have to start attacking regardless then. Take my chances, so to speak. I've completed the road under my stone resource there. Are there any other resources I should be working on? No. Okay, so let's focus on land improvement. You'll notice these cities are growing quite significantly now. And we also want to start building more farms because the civics that we have selected favor farms. So like right here we have a village, 3 coins, 4 coins. The village is currently doing better for us, obviously. But what we could do instead is build the hamlets and cottages on the fields of Perdition, as opposed to the actual grassland, what is now called Broken Lands. We should also improve that snake pillar. It's some good production on there, so I think we're going to do that. Oh wait, we can't improve the snake pillar. We've tried this before. Yeah, okay, we're just going to try to focus on some farms then for the economy. Because those are the civics I selected. Just a quick review here, just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Yeah, so we adopted aristocracy, which increases commerce production on farms by 2, but removes 1 food from those tiles. But then we also adopted agrarianism, which adds 1 food to farm tiles, but subtracts 1 hammer from farm tiles. And since the only tiles that actually have hammers are the ones, well, I shouldn't say the only tiles. The only tiles eligible for farms that have hammers are the plains. We won't be building any farms on the plain tiles. We're going to build them all on grassland, which in my case, because I'm of the evil alignment, it would be, what is it, the Broken Lands? I think it's called Broken Lands. Yeah. So that pretty much solves that dilemma. It gives us a bit of a direction that we should be heading in. I think what I'm going to do is have the giant take the long way around here, and we're going to approach from behind, step to this tile, and then maybe to here. And we might be able to get that done in 1 turn if I actually send the ritualist or a vampire up there the turn before. Spell resisted and unit held. So 1 unit was held. Odds are it's going to be the... No, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be the hill giant, but it wasn't in this case. I kind of figured he was going to be a weaker minded unit because of the fact that it's a hill giant, so like generally they'd be considered less intelligent, so they'd be more easily swayed into being held. I should look up that spell, by the way. Unit held. It'd probably take forever to find it. What does it say? It says unit held. Okay, maybe we can look here to see what unit is causing this. So it appears... I can't tell by the promotions. They're so small. I would have to be more familiar with the game. Anyway, let's bombard this city. Down to 25. Let's wake this guy up and do some damage. Unfortunately, though, it's like the units that are most important to me are the ones that are getting held turn after turn. Did want to build a mine on that tile. My ranger is still slowly moving towards his objective. Yeah, as you can see, we're on the tile with the snake pillar, and we can't build any improvements there. Let's build the farm instead. And over here, let's see. Probably a mine to get started, introduce some productivity into the city, and also farms. We'll also do a farm on this tile, right next to the river. Let's see how many of our units get held this turn. At least one. What does it say? It says unit held and spell resisted. And then of course we have enemy barbarians over here. What am I going to do about that? Our odds are not the best. So I'm building a ritualist over here right now for that very purpose, because I knew I might have to counter some stronger enemy units. I think maybe instead we'll have one of our vampires run over there. So we'll give him the haste promotion, and okay, he doesn't seem to want to understand that he has more movement, but we got it going. That scout is still very slow. And our hill giant is even slower. Oh, this unit was also held? Wow. 2 units got held this turn. And both of them were good units too. Yeah, look at that. 2 units held. I'm pretty sure there's a promotion you can select that adds resistance to spells. I don't have it. Oh wait, right here it is. Yeah. Promote unit, magic resistance. It gives you an additional 20% to resist spells, which is, I don't know. Is that going to be that useful to me? What I need to do with this is start pillaging these lands around here if I can. Unfortunately, we kind of needed the elephant to do that. It's one of the most movement points. Nobody else has enough movement points to perform it, I don't think. Oh wait, the vampires probably wouldn't. For some of them they would. Okay, that's what we're going to do though. We need to start hitting her where it hurts. So I'm going to step to this tile. I'm going to pillage. That's a good question. If I pillage, can I also use a spell? I'm not sure about that. Where's our other vampire? I already used him this turn. Yes, we can also pillage. Okay, because it shows right here. It shows that I can still use the pillage even though I've already used my spells. So we should be good. Pillage this tile and then take the unit. Yeah, and we can cast haste and then move back to the stack. So that's what we're going to be doing with our vampires. We're going to have them run out, at least to tiles that have roads. I'm going to have to do something else about the tiles that don't have roads because they'll consume an entire movement point just to move to the tile. But in this case, I can do that, pillage it, get our haste back, and then step back to the tile. See, the problem is now that some of our units are always being held. We can't easily get out of here. Like, this is a bit of a problem. Some of our units are going to be stuck. But Losha Valas is continuing to grow in strength. She's earned another promotion. Obviously, the best option here is probably for the combat promotions because they'll allow us to eventually take the heroic defense and heroic attacking or whatever it's called. So that's what I'm going to be doing there. And I think we'll just pillage this tile. Our giant can bombard. So we're getting a little bit of progress down there, about as well as could be expected. But we aren't. We might actually send our next. Are they called savants or called ritualists? the one that we're currently building in our capital, we might send him over here to help try to take this city, because this unit held business is actually stalling my ritualists. Every turn now, one of them is getting held. And that could be a problem, obviously, because I need them to do a lot of the collateral damage. So if they're being held all the time, I'm going to have to find an alternative, probably bring more ritualists in. 3 units were held this turn. It's getting worse. So our giant... Wait, a mine has been destroyed by a marauding barbarian wolf raider. Yeah, it's our only source of copper, too. Well, the vampire is on his way over, but he's not going to get there fast enough. There are quite a few enemy units there as well, so this could be a bit of a sticky situation, I guess you could say. Well, let's see. 5 more turns for the ritualist. And we already cast our spell, so we can't summon in a skeleton. What we could do, what we probably should do, is bring this scout home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the scout move this away. So we're going to try to head back. Wow, I didn't even notice. This city right here, this enemy city, is sort of trapped on all sides by us. We don't have to get too close to scout it. I think we should go right here. And then we'll take the hawk and we can scout in this direction. We'll probably get it. We don't actually have to travel there. And I'll be bringing that ranger home so you can help defend the homelands. What is this? Razier the Fallen. Oh, Razier. Come, help me attack the city. I should talk to Heborim. Attack, what is this name of the city? Inish Barfin? Let's discuss something else. Why don't you attack? Here we go. I've always been rather unsatisfied with the response for that, because it doesn't really, you know, it says we'll do our best, but how significant is that really? 95.6. Should we try doing that? Move your carcass aside, she said. One of the things we could also do with the war elephant, I think, because it has 3 movement points, I could step onto this tile, pillage, and then move back. Let's do that instead. Maybe we'll get luckier with which of our units are held, because right now it's pretty consistent that our ritualists are, at least one of them is getting held every turn, which is really holding me back. Constructed a granary here. Interestingly enough, the city does not have very good growth. Oh, it's not focusing on it anymore because it's reached its happiness cap. So what can we do to increase the happiness for this city? Like, what do we have? The carnival built here? Is it the carnival or is it the fair? It is the carnival and it is built. So we're not going to get any more happiness from that. We're really not making enough science to justify a library. This city largely was built with the intent of capturing the copper, so it was never meant to be in an ideal location. What we should probably build is the public bath. It will give us +3 happiness. In terms of return on investment, that's going to be the best bang for our hammers. 1 unit? How many units were held this turn? It looks like 1. Is she held? None of them were held? Okay, this guy's held, isn't he? Yeah. Once again, one of our ritualists was held, which means he can't use any spells. And I need him to use spells. But at least we got our giant back, so we can bombard the defenses down to nothing. That longbowman is up to 4 strength now, and that obviously decreased our odds because it's healing faster than we can deal damage. So we're losing, essentially, is the long and short of it. We're losing this siege thanks to my units being held. I don't know which unit is holding them. It could be the Confessors. It could be Valen. It's not the Longbowman. It could be the Radiant Guard. It's one of those 3. And there's so many of them. It'd be interesting to see if we take a look at units. What can confessors do? I know they're a unit that are specific for which civilization is that? Not civilization, religion. They're for the order religion. So confessor would go under C-C-O-N. It would be really nice if there was a search bar for this, but there isn't. You have to actually do it alphabetically. So it starts with channeling, divine, medic 2, spirit guide. What does spirit guide do? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Divine. How about channeling 2? This allows us to bless, bloom, disbless. No. We're not going to have a happy ending here, are we? There are just so many spells in this game. It's really hard to keep track of them unless you play the game a lot. So, like, I would have to spend so much time researching it. And there is little I can do to counter it. So at the end of the day, I'm not sure that's time well invested. Personally, like if I wanted to get better at the game, it would be smart, but I'm just not. I don't think there's a whole lot of like entertainment value in doing that. So what are we going to do about this city then? At the moment, we're just going to wait another turn because this is the first turn we've actually got its defenses down to 0. Obviously, this would be the kind of turn we'd want to attack. And if we could just bombard with one more ritualist, we could hit her with some collateral damage with one more ritualist, that would be so great. And wow, look at there. Right there is Hyborum, the actual in the flesh dude. But since we can't do the bombarding that we need to do, our odds are steadily getting worse because she is able to heal them. She's able to heal her units in that city faster than I can hurt them. I just realized the reason this worker was timid is because these guys can attack me next turn. What should I do about this? Because I wasn't really thinking. Now the workers are exposed to every single one of these units. They all have 2 movement or more. Okay, except for the axemen. We can get hit here with lizardmen, a wolf rider, and another lizardman. So the ideal solution in this case would be to move 1 or 2 of my units over here. I'll move the vampire over there, and then we will also bring a skeleton onto that tile as well. So even if the vampire dies, there's the slight chance that a skeleton could win instead. I don't know. Probably wouldn't work. Let's see here. Can we get an ad? Oh, we can also get this adept over there. Now, she needs some other promotions. We can give her the haste promotion. We can give her the mobility 1 promotion to summoned units. I probably won't be summoning anything. Can cast loyalty, can cast blur. Let's promote for shadow. And let's move over here. And then I'm going to cast that promotion, or that spell. Here we go, cast blur. What does blur do? I forgot. It makes these units immune to the first strike and immune to defensive strikes. So I don't think these units have first strikes, so that's not relevant to what I'm going to be defending against. So we're just going to, we could take a loyalty, but since we're in a rather perilous situation, I think we'll just go with the combat 1 instead and hopefully increase our odds a bit. Because we are on a hill, that's 25% additional defensive strength for that unit. Okay, here we have another archer. We can't build longbowmen at the moment, so we're stuck building archers. And that archer will need to remain in that city because there is a very likely chance that it can be attacked by the Mercurians. Because look, we almost touched borders with them. As soon as my borders expand a couple times, we will. Let's join up with Razir the Fallen there on top of that hill. I'd like to get my other giant into the fray, even if I can't get him back out. So I've constructed an archer. Let's go with another archer. I don't think we can have too many archers, and we can always go ahead and upgrade them to longbowmen when we finish that research. So animal handling will be done in 3 turns. We could focus on bowers after that. It would take 27 turns by myself, but of course our teammate would help to probably cut it in half. And that would give us access to longbowmen. I really did want to capture this city before this episode ended, though. Looks like another one of my units is held, and my forces are under attack. My longbowmen killed the barbarian lizardman. Okay, so all of the... Okay, we won every single one of them. And they attacked my city, not that other tile with the walker on it. So that's good news, by golly. Let me guess. Oh, wait, woo! Now, this is really interesting. Both of our ritualists are fine, but our war elephant isn't, which is the unit we wanted to use to actually do the attacking. So we still haven't won, technically. Down to 3.6 for that long bowman, but we're not going to be able to do it with Losha yet. She needs more promotions. I mean, she's getting there. Maybe what I could do, I'll switch the Great Commander. Can we grab him for this? How exactly do we get him off of here? That's interesting. I can't get rid of my Great Commander if the unit doesn't have any movement left. What happens if I cast Haste? Do I get a movement out of that? No, I don't. It acts like it can have a movement, but it can't. That would really be an interesting way to circumvent being held as a unit, is just to add haste to it. But apparently held means you literally cannot move off the tile. So that's not a solution. Well, I mean, the odds at the moment with Losha are 96.7, but she is a hero, which means I never have an opportunity to get her again if I lose her. So that makes me a little bit more cautious. I think we'll just save it for now. And as a matter of fact, we could send this ranger over here as well. 7 turns would get me down there. It's a bit further than I thought it would be, but it's certainly doable. Let's do that. And our hawk obviously comes with the ranger. Let's do a little bit of reconnaissance. And he has a pretty mighty stack here. How is it that he hasn't taken out any cities yet? I mean, all we have in here are longbowmen, and he has a huge stack of axemen and assassins, along with the, I don't know, what is he? He's a leader? He's a devil? It's hard to tell. He looks like a dragon. He's like a bit of a demon dragon, I guess. He's the leader of that civilization. My leader was not nearly as impressive, I guess you could say. He was simply a great commander. Looks like our longbowman earned enough experience for a promotion. Let's go ahead and delete this skeleton, though. There's no point in paying the maintenance costs to keep it there. And we really do need to rebuild this mine now that the barbarians pillaged. It's my only source of copper. So let's promote for city defense. Wow, we got 2 promotions off of that. That makes our longbowman fairly strong. Because there's always the possibility that the Malachim can attack from this side as well. Like, that's where I would be hit the hardest at this point, because we sort of have forced the Elohim sort of into a corner here. Like, they're not going to be attacking from the west side of my civilization. Let's continue on building farms around here. Oh wait, we could also build a plantation there. Let's do that instead. Of course, Razier the Fallen decided not to help me. I'm not going to forget this, Razier. You will pay, you and your greedy civilization who never helps. So the risk of me stepping out here with my giant is that he has a unit that can move 2, well, yeah, any unit he has that can move 2 tiles per turn is a threat to me, I think. And that unit would be Valen. The interesting thing is that if he did that, Valen would be stuck out in the open, because I'm looking at all these other units. I think they only have 1 movement point. We're getting through this, it's a bit slow. Yeah, he only has 1 unit that can move 3 tiles per turn. All of his other units are limited to 1 per turn, which means that he couldn't get to this tile with anybody but Valen. So we're going to go there. If we bait Valen out and he kills this giant, it will be worth it in my opinion. And he sallied forth. Wow, would you look at that? Actually pulled him out of the city. So this is probably one of our better opportunities to try to get Valen. Let's move the giant down here. Unfortunately, one of our ritualists once again was held, which means we can't do nearly enough damage against him to even the odds, I guess you could say. Although we can get rid of this longbowman here. What about her? 49, yeah, she doesn't have enough strength yet to take on Valen. Because Valen has been collecting experience this entire time. Which is a bit of a problem for me, personally. I don't know how to get out of this situation. It's an interesting one. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I think, anyway. Because the thing is, he has the bulk of his promotions already. If I give him a little bit more experience, it's probably not going to get him any new promotions. It could, because you stop getting experience after 100 experience for free. So we're going to grab a couple of specters here, and we're going to throw them against these units. Who knows what it'll do. Like, it probably won't do anything, but it might damage them a little bit. It knocked him down to 5.9, so better than nothing. But what would okay, Losha will attack these now. 99.8. Let's do that. And now our war elephant still will not attack Valen. He's still cowering behind a confessor. 99.4. I guess we're going to do that then. And yeah, Losha did take a little bit of damage, but our war elephant didn't. So if we were attacked by Valen in his weak state, he would probably be attacking the war elephant. The war elephant would be the one chosen to defend the stack. Out of curiosity, our odds against him are very good. And the reason why every time we select a war elephant that Valen hides is because the war elephant has 50% strength against mounted units, and Valen is a mounted unit. So that's why we have such great odds against him with the war elephant and not with Losha. So I think we're in a pretty secure place there with the war elephant and Valen. Like, I don't think he's going to kill any of my units. But I've been wrong about that before, so let's not count our chickens before they hatch, eh? Not a whole lot to scout out with the hawk these days, is there? It's an interesting thing about these AIs. They have so many units and they never attack anything. Like, I asked him to help me here. I have not seen hide nor hair of any units that are willing to lend a hand. I mean, this is a war we are all fighting. Whose side are you on? I'm not sure this city needs any more improvements. How about this one? Well, we could... no, we couldn't. It is growing in one turn. We could just build a mine up here, I suppose. I am kind of running out of good improvements that would... I guess we'll just take down this city, this town then. We'll lose 1 gold, but we'll increase the food production. And vampire again. Yes, indeed. I think we're going to have this vampire come out here and protect the workers from any potential sneaky barbarian attacks. And let's build a plantation on top of the regents. Okay, the end of turn 125. Ooh, we got 3 units that were held. Does not sound good. Okay, we've completed animal handling, which means we can now build rangers. Pretty important. So whatever unit was causing me to get stuck in one place, they are still here. So I'm assuming it was not I keep calling him Razir the Fallen. I'm assuming it was not... Where the hell did he go? The guy is gone. That's interesting. Valen is gone. Where did he go? I need the hawk down here now to do some scouting. Where's my scout with the hawk? Here we are. Okay, you can go here this turn. How far can the hawk reach? We can reach like this. Let's try scouting about there. Any sign of Valen? There's Razir. No Valen. Where do you think he went? Do you think he went over here to try to attack my other cities? That's certainly a possibility. I can't scout that far with the hawk this turn. Ooh, like he might actually single-handedly take back my other cities for me with 1 unit, with Valen. Unless, this is a possibility. Is it possible that Valen got killed? No, we would have seen it if Valen got killed. It gives a worldwide announcement if heroes die. So we know he's still alive, which is dangerous. to me. Let's take this vampire and send him over here. So once again, one of our ritualists was of course held, which means we continue to lose the battle here. And of course our war elephant was also held, which means we can't attack this city. She is injured. Fortunately, my vampire with the regeneration spell was not held. I mean, so many of our units are getting just mired, just stuck, when they shouldn't be. Like, I should be able to take the city if they weren't holding all of my units. I wouldn't be able to take it. The force was set up to be capable of taking a city. What should we work on next? I mean, I'm tempted to do boars. It would give us access to longbowmen, I mean, which is pretty important if we need to defend cities. And as we take more cities, that becomes more important. I'm just wondering if there was like a better technology at this point. Something more important. I mean, there was always the idea of wealth, but I have a lot of money. I'm not losing any, so I don't think that's of the most importance at the moment. Let's go ahead and work on boars. Let's get some longbowmen. Completed the vampire. Let's build. I mean, okay, here's the thing. We could build something to make the city happier. We have a carnival here already, but we could build public baths. It would make the city happier at the cost of some significant health. Well, not some significant, just one. 9 turns, and it would allow us to really grow the city. The reason we want big cities, again, is because as the Calabim, we have vampires, and vampires can feed off of cities to gain experience. Which is something I might have wanted to consider doing with that vampire I just sent out. Okay, let's see what Valen is up to. You think he'll come back this turn? Waiting. Oh, I see a lot of spell resisted. This could be an attack turn. What was that? Yeah, that's just a barbarian. It's a barbarian ranger, which is pretty powerful. Where's Valen? I don't she delete Valen? There's no way. I don't get it. What happened to him? And our ritualist is finally back online. So nothing was held this turn. This might be the turn that we have to go for it. All of the units though in that city are healed now. So we lost all of our traction there because our ritualists were continually held. Like, we did a lot of damage. I mean, the longbowman is down to 3.6. Is it going to ever get better than that? I don't know. One more promotion, one more attack will probably get enough experience for another promotion for this war elephant, which will increase the odds. In 2 more turns, we'll get another promotion for Losha, whether or not we attack. Let's attack. Okay, war elephant. Yeah, we're up to 54 experience now. Fortunately, the war elephant really took a hit for that. As a matter of fact, that severely weakened the stack's defense against Valen if he decides to attack me. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add the regeneration perk. It means that he will heal significantly in the next turn. And then the turn after that, he'll be fully healed. So if we can delay the inevitable. I just wish Valen was still in the city so I could deal damage to him. Because right now, wherever he is, he's at full strength. And I really would like to know where he is. Let's see if our hawk can tell us anything. Okay. Let's use the unit thing. Enemy military. He's just gone. I don't see him anywhere. Like, he could be hiding right here. This little L shape of shadow. But he's off the map all of a sudden. I don't think he died. Did I miss something? Because they always have an announcement if you actually... Yeah. There's no announcement that he died. And there would be a global announcement when heroes die. Because it's an important event. Okay, well, here we have a ritualist. Let's give him that additional speed promotion. The mobility promotion to make him faster, to get him over here in 5 turns. And let's complete that mine. Why did the workers stop working? Oh, they probably just finished the road. Okay. We can build a dancing bear in this city. Are there any other cities that need dancing bears? I think all of them do, as a matter of fact. or it creates it creates a dancing bear. No, this city already has a dancing bear. What about my capital? My capital could use a dancing bear as well. Well, we'll build it in that city first. How about taking out this barbarian ranger? We have 91.4% odds of doing it. In our case, since this worker doesn't have to be here anyway, we're just going to send them back into the city for a turn. The ranger has 2 movement. It can't get to me or any of my workers in 1 turn. So we'll have a little bit more warning before it actually happens, before actually in danger. And, well, I mean, our city does not have a lot of defense, but we probably have better odds against it in here. Yet again, where is Valen? I don't know. It seems like a lot of our units have resisted here. Okay, so our war elephant has earned another promotion. Big question, of course, is what do we promote him for now that all of our strength or our combat promotions have been already used up? So versus archery units is pretty strong, especially since we already have a decent amount against mounted units. And then there's also the possibility of melee units. But the thing is, wait, is there also disciple units here? What does this do? Okay, this reduces the chance of being affected by enemy spells. We probably want to choose this. Now, I'm not sure. Promote unit, magic resistance. We should take a look at this. I want to see if this affects all units in the stack. So promotions, it would be under M. LM should be somewhere here. It would be under magic. Here we go. It doesn't tell you. It tells you just as much as it would normally tell you. I assume it's just applied to this unit then, not to the entire stack, which makes it a lot less useful. Especially when we could be choosing something like cover, which would give us a huge bonus against archery units, which is what we are fighting. Like these longbowmen here. Oh, wait. One of our ritualists was held. Well, we can do that anyway. Better one than none. This unit will heal in 1 turn. Yeah, and our odds are getting much better now. So I'm thinking that even without the ability to continually bombard with 2 ritualists every turn, we'll have a very good chance of actually taking the city. Now with the elephant having that promotion. Oh, right here. Here he is. We found him. Right here is Valen. I have no idea what he's doing over there. Is he just defending the workers? Is he biding his time and waiting? I don't know. But we did find him. I told you he was still around. For those who doubted. The big danger, of course, is he actually goes after this city because archers are no strength, no match for Valen. He will wipe them right out. So that would be bad for us. It would certainly set us back. These rangers actually can attack my workers this turn. So what I could do is I could step to here, or I could actually attack them. If we lose, the city's gone. We don't have a whole lot of margin for error here. It's a 10% chance that we could lose. So I took it. We won. It doesn't always go that way, but we won this time. Okay, the plantation has been completed. Obviously, the city's going to be really unhappy now because there's nobody in it defending it, which increases the unhappiness, but let's just continue on here. Where did Valen go? I saw him whiz by. Oh, there he is. There's Valen. There's my boy. If we wipe out the city this turn, Valen will disappear. What do you think the odds of that actually happening, though, are? Ooh, both of our ritualists are locked and loaded. They can both deal damage. And Losha got another promotion. Unfortunately, wait, oh, here we go. +1 attack strength. This is the promotion we were waiting for. Our war elephant is fully healed. This sounds like a turn to attack. 99% odds. Unfortunately, we can't attack again. I would love to attack again. We need blitz. 99.9. There's another confessor. Let's see here. What are the odds with the vampire? 96% with that one. After that, we have 2 radiant guards. I mean, we are whittling them out. They will not be able to hold me next turn, I don't think, because I'm really reducing the numbers here. Okay, let's bombard once. We could summon in a couple of specters. I don't think there's anything better to do with the vampires. So we're going to bring in a couple of specters. Going to throw them against 60%. Okay, 1 specter killed a radiant guard. Good for you. Unfortunately, you're going to lose that experience because you would die next turn anyway, so I'm deleting you so I don't have to pay the maintenance costs this turn. Okay, the radiant guard is the strongest unit left here. What are the odds against... Okay, we are attacking. Now there's an axeman and a confessor left. Now there's just a confessor. So let's take this hill giant and see if we can earn ourselves a promotion here. Ooh. Wow, that was close. Okay, so I've captured the city and we have a little bit of a lore event here. Let's see if I can get through this without botching it. A dusky lady in purple robes walked through the sand. I already botched it, didn't I? A dusky lady in purple robes walked through the sandstorm outside the Calabim palace. She was followed by a sand lion and a Malachim soldier, holding a white banner of parley. She was admitted to the forbidding antechamber of the palace by mocking guards who brought her request for a meeting with their commander to Decius. Decius allowed the meeting, and she was shown into his throne room. Her bodyguards and the blood bats guarding the entrance were the only other people there. Decius said, "You are lucky that I am leading this force, lady. My patrons would not have so honored an enemy had they the advantage of. So you may speak, but I have a limit to my patience as well." The lady nodded. "I am Talia Gosam, druid, and I come on behalf of the Overcouncil." Decius raised an eyebrow. "I had thought that your council had learned the futility of its existence in the desert of Mur, or were you absent during the sacking of Golden Lean?" "We all stand as one. We all stand as long as one stands, and I trust you are not so foolish as to count this conflict won already. We are prepared to discuss terms with the Calabim separate from your allies." "Terms?" Talia said, "Our guide and god Lugus despises you and your wicked kin, but surely even you can see the threat posed by the Shiam and the Infernals to the entire world. Your support for them is preventing our stopping this threat." "What about the Svalfar?" We would happily leave them out of this or negotiate with them while we focus on the Infernals. But the past has proven that our deals struck with Ferial are unreliable. We can only hope that you have some measure of wisdom and honor despite your cruelty." "Cruelty? You don't know me, Talia. I am not the monster you might expect, although you will find such among my ranks and my patrons. But I have as little use for cruelty as I do for honor. Your terms won't give me what I've already been promised, and I need not submit to righteous guardians in the process. Surely a druid understands the need to control one's own life, whatever the consequences." "Speak not to me of my calling. You are allied with those who would destroy the natural order wherever they step, and would set the world aflame. There is redemption for you, Decius, if you will take it, but the Shiam must be stopped, for the sake of all life. Think of this, repent, and the Overcouncil will ensure your survival. That is all." Talia turned and left, returning unharmed to the Malachim forces. So that was a pretty long little story there. For those who aren't aware of the context with which this was said, this is a rundown between the leader. Let's keep this. I think we want to keep the city. I'll just explain this. This was a dialogue between the leader of the Calabim civilization, of which, well, it's me. I am Decius of the Calabim. I'm playing as him. and the Malachim. Now, the Malachim are the yellow civilization in the bottom right corner. We have not fought them so far on this map, but we actually defeated them in the previous scenario to this little mini campaign here for Fall from Heaven 2. In general, she was worried, and her civilization as a larger part of that, that the Infernals, Hyborum is an Infernal, as well as the Shi'am, the purple civilization that we are also on good terms with. You know, we're fighting, they're part of the Undercouncil with me, and we're fighting against the Overcouncil. But anyway, the Malachim, which are the yellow civilization, are worried that the Infernals and the Shi'am are going to take over the world. And we can sort of see this happening with the spread of the Infernal land, the fields of perdition and stuff like that. And they wanted me as a leader, as a civilization, to sort of stop fighting with them so that they could go ahead and focus exclusively on the Infernals and the Shi'am, the purple civilization. Ultimately, this meeting was inconclusive. Like, we didn't have any input into it whatsoever, and it sounds like the Druid went back to the Malachim unharmed, probably to inform them of this deal, because Decius kind of rejected it. He kind of pointed out that what the Malachim are promising him to drop out is not something that he couldn't get just by staying in the fight, in the fray. Like, he's not going to lose anything either way. While he has no real sense of honor, he has no real sense of cruelty either. He's very opportunistic, Decius is, at least the way I'm playing him currently. Like, my decisions have influenced his storyline so far. So it's not like I'm a complete spectator in this entire affair. I have influenced Decius's storyline. So the big question here is, what do we do with this city? Is a monument and a palace in it. The thing I like about this city is that it is relatively close to the mana node. The thing I don't like about it is that it is also one step away from a river here, which is a terrible place to place a city. I think since we can actually build settlers now, we're going to raise this city. We'll build another city closer, probably to this side of the river, and we'll be able to take that mana node really quickly, and we can use that for our specters. We're burning it, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. And Valen has fallen. That even rhymes. Valen has fallen. Yes, indeed. Wow, that was a close accomplishment, because you saw he was coming for us. Like, there was nothing I could really do to stop him from taking these cities if I hadn't actually killed the civilization, the Elohim, altogether. So, I mean, that took longer than I expected it to take, but we have successfully removed one of the civilizations, one down and 2 to go. So the big question is, who do we target next? The Mercuryans, which are right over here, the white civilization, or actually go after Van Gossam and his Malachim civilization? I think we should go after the Mercuryans. It'll be interesting to see how the storyline changes when the Infernal's primary opponents are actually removed from the game. Obviously, our good friend Hyborum probably will not lift a finger to help me. I mean, I asked him to help me with that instance over there, and he didn't do anything. So I don't have a whole lot of confidence in him overall. Let's destroy that lizardman. Let's finish that mine right there. Guess we're also using that worker to build a mine as well. We have another vampire and another ritualist coming in, so hopefully conquests start getting a bit faster in the future. And Losha is also becoming more powerful as time goes on. So she'll be a much more formidable opponent, she'll be a much more formidable unit to use against our enemies, those who would see us undone. Notice a lot of units are actually occupying the map now because these turns are taking an absurd amount of time to load. It's not something I've seen. Oh boy, we have, well, not a whole lot. What we do need, though, Van Gossam has completed Form of the Titan. That's not what we need, but what we needed was a ritualist, and this ritualist is taking some time to complete. Is there anything we can do to hurry this? I don't think so. So that's a big cliffhanger right there, isn't it? Let's give this unit the mobility promotion, and it kind of alters my decision. Like, up until this point, he has never attacked me. He's going to start attacking me now. That makes him a bigger threat to me than the Mercuryans, in which case he needs to go. Now this, yeah, it looks bad. It does. It looks like I'm going to lose the city here, doesn't it? What's our fat? We could get the elephant to run back. Chain him up to a couple of vampires to make sure he gets double the movement. Well, he won't get double the movement. But I mean, we can move pretty fast, right? So, cancel this vampire here. We want to at least bring the elephant back. He is my pride and joy. We'll use the vampire to give him additional movement. So that's an additional 2 steps. Let's start bringing this vampire back as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. That ritualist right here needs to start coming back. Like, if the city is taken, which it very well might be, we need to be able to take it back. I don't want to lose that city for any period of time. In addition to that, Losha does not have very much movement. But we can go ahead and give everybody here the speed promotion, and that will speed along our movement here a little bit. This vampire also has a promotion coming to him, so what do we want to go for here? Movement would be an interesting option, or mobility would be an interesting option, but since it's moving with the rest of the stack, I think we're just going to go ahead and promote for combat strength. And let's also get this hill giant moving along, as well as our ranger. As a matter of fact, this ranger is going to go up here. And we're going to probably be doing a little bit of scouting of the Mercurian land to make sure that they're not actually sneaking up on us like the Malachim did. I do kind of wonder, since that was such a sudden attack, if that attack was scripted as part of the little dialogue we just read through. Because remember, these are the units from the civilization that just contacted us. So it looks a little bit suspicious, doesn't it? That we were contacted, and 1 turn later, after Decius refused, surprise, surprise, we have a huge attack on our borders. Ooh, it looks like a little bit more than coincidence. These are diseased corpses. What would be the best thing to give these? Because the idea is that they can transmit disease to units that they're engaged in combat with. Obviously, they're not intended to win. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. Strength 7. How did they get to be strength 7? I don't understand that. Have diseased corpses always been strength 7? That's ridiculous. No, see, look, he's only at a strength of 4. How did this one get so strong? How did this one get all the way up to strength 7 so easily? Is this it? Undead? This is really weird. Why is this such a strong unit? They're supposed to be 4 strength, not 7. And the bronze weapons give us 1 additional strength. That only equals 5. Where are the other 2 strength coming from? It's not coming from diseased. That is really weird. That is really, really weird. Why? They're not supposed to be... Okay, +2 death. That explains it. It's a strength of 7 because it has +2 death combat. And I'm not looking at that. When I actually look at the units in here, it will say +2 death combat, and I ignored it. So yeah, it adds up now. Never mind. I was just overlooking that. Yeah, so, how many movement points do these guys have? They have a vicar with 2, and another vicar with 2. And a swordsman, okay, no, just 2 vicars. They're the only ones who can actually attack my vampire this turn. So let's summon a skeleton there just in case. But I think that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. I know this is a little bit of a cliffhanger. How convenient for me. But we are going over an hour here, so that's where I like to cut these off. We didn't make as much progress as I would like to have. I would like to have actually finished the Elohim off a little bit earlier, but we were continually bogged down by being held by her confessors, I think it was, who are actually casting the spells. So this is the progress that we made. Hopefully we'll do something a little bit more exciting next episode, because we have this big attack here. We could easily lose a village because of it. So But it will be interesting to see. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you next time.